My rear coil springs, there's some brand new sexy ones. I'm on a 98 Toyota 4Runner. I got the car jacked up. That's just a backup. It's not holding any weight. Hella jack stands. It's kind of tough on this fuel tank side because the fuel tank's in the way of the frame rail, so I'm just kind of paranoid. But anyways, it's supported. I'm getting these coils out of here. You can see there's not much. It's loose already because I have the diff dropped. The car is supported by the frame. And the first step to go about this is safely jacking it up. Get your wheel chocks, don't be a goof. Support it, okay? And then your next step here is to remove your rear sway bar, basically, just to make it super easy. This is a 12 millimeter bolt up here. Put some PB blaster on there because it's been there forever. And then these are two 12s as well down here, securing your sway bar to your differential. So look at this, my whole sway bar is just loose, chilling. That allows you to now manipulate everything. And the next step here is a 17 millimeter bolt that comes out of the rear of your shock absorber, and the concave side faces out on this bolt head, if you can see. So you want to make sure you maintain that position. And I'm going to pry and bash this with a rubber mallet to release this shock absorber from the mount down here in the bushing. So that way then the differential can drop down and I can get these coils out of here, put the new ones in. So in order to do all this properly before you drop everything, you want to come and undo this 12 millimeter bolt that goes here. It's a little bracket holding your brake line to the drums. So get that bracket off. That way this, when you lower the diff, isn't being pulled on, and it's actually really stressing it if you don't remove it. So now I'm ready to come sit on this, lower the differential 2 to 3 inches, and swear at the coil till it comes out. Will the coil out of a 22-year-old assembly. Get some weight on it. That was actually very easy. I put maybe a third of my weight on the drum assembly, and boom, out comes the 22-year-old coils. They are no longer. Next step, you can kind of see this, we'll call it the throne where your coil sits. There's a bunch of shit in here, dirt, sediment, dust, of course, from many years. So get some PB blaster or whatever, which isn't, you know, bad to leave on there, and then wipe it clean. Get this super nice and clean. A bunch of sediment and dirt fell out on mine, so that your new coil has a home that's really sound and securely seated. A replacement coil here made by Moog. Not much of a height discrepancy and a 22-year-old coil, but I'd call it, oh shit, maybe 3/4 of an inch. First one, so I'm gonna weight this and pull, and out she comes. Super nice and easy. That's been in there for 22 years. Out comes the old coil behind it now. So I'm keeping this faced that way, the end, because it's about to meet its maker. Okay, so that's roughly where it sits in the top. Put your fucking ass on here. Oh, wow. Having the new coil on the other side makes it 20 times harder. So with the new coil on the other side, the last side is going to be a lot harder because the tension of the new coil is fighting you. And I tried my best to sit on the drum to lower it, but it's not working. So I'm going to innovate here and put a bottle jack in between, so right on the diff. And this is just like a cushion for if you bottom out your suspension, you'll see it. It's welded to your frame to slap the diff, so there's no metal on metal. So this is sweet. So put a bottle jack in between here, and then boom, expand them with a bottle jack. You know, work smarter, not harder. I was going to hurt myself or, you know, get all pissed, but here, let's work a lot smarter. Coil in there. Seat it down in its little throne. Make sure that little end is over there. I'm sure you can see that. Okay, right there. You want to make sure that's seated properly. It's very intuitive. And then just undo this slowly and make sure the upper cone mount is seated perfect as you unwind, and you've got your new coils and you're ready to go. We're back. Now that the new coils are in, I'm gonna show you one of the biggest ways to avoid the biggest pain in the ass while reassembling your rig. Here's the lower shock stud to put the shock eye through the bushing. Boom, 17 mil, right? I want to get this back in there, but look at that. It's way lower. I don't want to have to lift. I mean, I can move it, I can lift it, but fuck, it weighs 300 pounds. So to make these line up and agree with each other, all I'm gonna do, super chill, get a bottle jack, wind it down, set it under your drum, okay? Bottle jack under the drum. I'm just slowly lifting the whole differential by my drum brake assembly until I can get these to line up with each other. You know what I'm saying? And then so I lifted it up quite a bit with the bottle jack. Okay, this bolt goes back.